Good morning and welcome to the ongoing existential crisis and technical difficulty cascade that is my life and YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. It is a Sunday antisocial hour in which I complain about humanity and take questions from it. We have a late breaking question, but first, in my Missouri Meerschaum hardwood, I'm smoking Peterson's Irish Flake for the first time. I'm lighting it up here. Never smoked it before. Let's give it a little taste after the break. The tin description says that this is for the experienced pipe smoker. I don't know if I had to send Peterson a resume or something. Okay. First impression is that it's a lot like Old Dark Fire, maybe with a little more tongue spice. Tongue spice. Now there's a phrase. Okay, our late breaking question, which I just got. Gamecock Piper asks, Gribbs, are leeches discerning enough to choose between those who prefer brown sugar Pop-Tarts and those who prefer other inferior toaster pastries? Good question, Gamecock Piper. I can't think of a better way to answer this question than the following. Let's do this. We'll start a Kickstarter page where everyone in the YTPC can throw some money toward Derek Tant to get a plane ticket to come visit me. And then Derek and I, out of our own pockets, will go buy a shit ton of our preferred toaster pastries. We'll go take off our shoes, stand in the leech hole, and eat our preferred pastries for an hour straight without stopping. I definitely think I can eat brown sugar Pop-Tarts for an hour without stopping. And at the end of that hour, we will walk out and see who has the most leeches and put this question to bed. So this is my life, right? This tobacco's pretty good. I like it. This is my life. I have a great life. I set my own schedule. I work for myself. I get to make stupid videos on YouTube. I get to go fishing a lot, way more than the average person gets to go fishing. I raise my 3-year-old son. We just have a great time. But then there's this flip side to my life where it's really not, it's not a normal life. And it takes little remembrances, little reminders that my life is not normal. I've been using Linux for years. I installed Windows on my machine, and now I can do things that I couldn't do on Linux, like stream a movie from Amazon as if it's 2004 or something. I watched a movie on my computer last night while I tied flies. I watched Michael Mann's Heat from 1995 with Pacino and De Niro. Shovel and Shane came over and we watched it. And I realized I have not watched a movie in my own home in 3.5 years. I don't have, the things that normal people do to relax, I don't do. And you know, I go fishing. I play Minecraft. Well, I played Minecraft until I put Windows on my machine, and now I can't get it to run. So we'll see if I can continue without it. I don't know, but you know, it's not like I'm Amish or something. Like I have a completely different lifestyle. But there are these differences where I talk to so many people, and they're like, "Oh, did you see this TV show?" And I'm like, "I don't even know what that TV show is." And it just occurred to me, 3.5 years since watching a movie in my house. Now I've seen a couple in the theater in that time, but I think literally a couple. I haven't, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know much about movies anymore, and that's why I watched one from 1995 because man, what a great movie! They don't make movies like Heat anymore. It's just from start to finish, the whole movie is perfect. So next, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that I am at 989 subscribers as of this morning. I may hit 1,000 by next week. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel and watching my videos. And it's really kind of weird, and I'm actually going to do a video on the state of the folly, on how I've gotten to 1,000 subscribers and how I feel about that. And I don't really know how I feel about that. So I'm going to do a video to, yeah, I mean, I feel happy about it, but I got to process this celebrity that I have all of a sudden. And we're going to celebrate. I haven't quite figured it all out yet, but it's coming. So stay tuned for that. technical difficulties with my video production. Just bear with me. There might be, I mean, obviously this video is lower quality than the last few that I did because we don't want to get into it. Okay. I think that's all we need to, that's all, we get all that out of the way. And let's get right to your questions. Was there anything else? Something else? No, we got the 1,000 subs. The Derek Tant leech off. The challenge is open, Mr. Tant. Whenever I'll stand in the water and eat brown sugar Pop-Tarts. Okay, John Galdieri asks, Northern, I just watched Heat and I can't get these. Northern New Jersey, and Paulie's brother, wants to know, do the clothes make the man or the man make the clothes? I think this is a chicken and egg kind of question, but I've never seen clothes actually make a man. And I have seen men and women actually make clothes. So I think the man makes the clothes. Right? I think so. I understand the clothes make the man kind of, but okay, well, all right. So the clothes don't make the man, but they make the man's role in life. Because you would be surprised what you can get away with by wearing a fluorescent vest and carrying a clipboard and a hard hat. You would really be surprised it's pretty impressive. And on this topic, let me just say very briefly, one of the reasons I don't wear waders is because I don't want to look like everybody else on the river. I mean, it's like the uniform. It's like you got to wear your uniform to go fishing, and I don't want to do that. Mostly it's the expense though. But I'm starting to think maybe this is not the best plan because I really like anonymity in my life. I really like not standing out. So if I wore waders, I might not get as many looks. I get looks because people are like, oh, you're Tenkara fishing. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I just like fishing this way. Don't talk to me. I'm fishing. And then they want to talk, if I was wearing waders, maybe. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a fake reel and glue it to my Tenkara rod. And that way I won't have to have these conversations while I'm on the water. Or I should just start carrying a card with my YouTube channel. Listen, man, I don't want to talk to you right now. Go watch my YouTube videos. I explain all this shit. While we're on the subject, Piper at the Gates of Dusk, or as I like to call him, Pat God. I'm trying to kill this lighter. It won't die. It's one of those click Bics, and to its credit, it works. I just don't like it. Or dumped it in the water. Still goes just fine. Your thoughts on the practicality of collapsing and extending as one might move through the streamside brush? There's a penis joke here, but I'm going to leave it alone. Tenkara fishing, one of the best advantages is the portability, and I collapse and extend my rod all the time going through streamside brush. There are places that I fish where I feel that I wouldn't be able to fish there if I couldn't collapse the rod. Though it's not as simple. It's not as simple as like Tenkara USA would have you believe, because then you've got a lot of line to deal with. And I haven't found a good solution for reeling up the line and then collapsing the rod. So you collapse the rod and now you've just got like 13 feet of line on a small stick. So yeah, it's still a pain, but it's possible. It's possible to do it and bushwhack a little bit to get to a better spot. I also apparently neglected a question from Pat God, and so I will now answer it. How many times has the U.S., or hell, any Western power, tried to overthrow the government of Syria? I did some research into this. And Ottoman Syria fell with the Ottoman Empire in 1920-ish, 22, something like that. I mean, technically, I think the Ottoman Empire fell at the end of World War I, but I don't know much about that. I really should know more about that. And then in 48, there was a revolution, basically all the time. Basically, either us or the Brits or the French, we've been overthrowing Syria since the 20s. And then before that, it was the Ottomans, which weren't a Western power, but you get what I'm saying. And then before that, it was the Crusades and all. It's like this. I was talking about this to someone else, and it's very timely because of the Jerusalem embassy issue with President Trump opening up a embassy in Jerusalem, which means that the U.S. recognizes Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Blah, 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 blah. The point being, it's a part of the world that's very strategically difficult to hold. That no one power holds these places for a long time because they're so easy to invade. And that is also why civilization developed there, because there were so many people going back and forth through these places. And you had the Babylonians and the Sumerians and the ancient aliens and all that were invading this place. And I'm talking like from North Africa up to the southern Mediterranean. So is it that we care about the Syrian people? Of course not. It's that we want a strategic hold on that property, and that's why one of the reasons that we invest in Israel and give them military hardware, and one of the reasons that Russia invests so heavily in Syria and Iran is that if you look at a map, you will see that this is the crossroads of basically the entire world. And it's very important. So, of course, they're going to be overthrown all the time. That's pretty depressing. Let's move on. Devil's Advocate says, this is my last question for a while. Stuff to sort out. What does this mean, sir? What is this like? Are you going on the lam? Do you have to go whack a guy? What stuff do you have to sort out that you can't ask me questions every week? That's what I want to know. That's my hashtag Ask Devil's Advocate question. Okay, his question. He has a threefold question. Number one, you kill fish using a rock, and then you slam your testicles on a rock. Is this karma? Well, fish don't have testicles, so no. Number two, which of these two versions of Let the Day Begin did you like best? The Call, band member, or Black Rebel Motorcycle Club? Black Rebel Motorcycle Club is the one I like best because I like the name Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. 3, if you were to deep sea fish using derrick tant as live bait, what species of fish do you think he would attract? Blue whale. Absolutely. This would be a total Captain Ahab Moby Dick scenario. Also, do you think he would embrace the new experience, or would he merely whine each time he was raised out of the water? Well, I know that Derek has superhuman powers, but I think I would whine if I were stuck on a hook and being deep sea fished for a blue whale. So, well, wait a minute. Can a blue whale even eat derrick tant? Because they like filter plankton and stuff through their brushy teeth, right? Maybe it wouldn't be a blue whale. Maybe it would be like a... We're gonna draw all these disparate elements together. Pipe smoking board gamer, you, sir, will get a kick out of this. I think with derrick tant on a giant hook, I could catch Cthulhu. I think that would happen. And then we'll go to the misty mountain island where Cthulhu dwells dreaming, and we'll just chuck derrick tant in, reel that sucker back up. Cody Kalal asks Gribbs, do you have a lounge in your garage? Where do you put the cars? Of course I have a lounge in my garage. Doesn't everybody? What's the point of a garage with cars in it? That's ridiculous. This is not a parking garage. This is not some, high-rise made of concrete. This is a man's garage, and there will never be a car in my garage. Derrick Tant asks, when is the graduation ceremony for when you get your level 51 shaman pin? Or is it a belt or a certificate? Do we need to bring snacks? I have some delicious toaster-based pastries that you gotta try. Shut up, Derek. Just get out of here with that shit. First, I've said it once, I'll say it again. There is no level 51. I am at level 50. That is the highest you can go, right? Gandalf goes to get my coffee in the morning, right? There's nothing, no. I am the apex of shamanism. Number 2, don't bring your strudels to my party, okay? Now, leech off notwithstanding, but no. You're not, we don't, you might get away with that shit next time you visit Charlotte, but when you come up here to the real North Carolina, we're not even going to let you in the county. We will search your car for 3 things: weapons, drugs, and toaster strudels. And they will, man, it'll be hands on the hood, spread them, cavity search, just to make sure you're not bringing any of that filth into my county. Derek's always trying to get under my pearly shaman skin. Cody Kalal asks Gribbs, where did you go to school for photography? I went to school in 2 places. I went to a private college in South Carolina, and I only went there for 1 semester, so it doesn't really count, but I did take a photography class there, and I learned a little bit. And then I ran my own darkroom out of my residence, out of the Shaman Palace for a while, and then I went to one of the universities of North Carolina to finish my studies in photography, and it was all a huge waste of time, and I continually reflect on what I did not learn about photography. What is that, a spider? All right, I gotta go deal with this. I'll be back. Being a shaman, I just sent that spider right to an ethereal plane of eternal torment. Typing Piper asks Gribbs, I'm starting to fly fish this year. Oh, my friend, welcome to the deep waters. Where is a good place to start learning flies and technique, books, videos, etc.? Okay. Books. I'm told that McLean's A River Runs Through It is like the first and last book you're ever going to need to read about fly fishing. It's not about fly fishing. So I don't know, it's not going to cover like casting and all that, but I think it covers the experience of being a fly fisherman as opposed to one of them worm drowning spin fishermen or bait casters. Anyway, Tight Line Video has some excellent fly tying videos, and I think that you can learn all you need to know about fly tying from YouTube, basically. Now, I think it's a really good idea. I attended a fly tying class, and my fly fishing guru taught me a few things at the Vice, and I think it's a really good idea to have a few, get a few hours under your belt with actual people that can be like, no, you're being an idiot. That's not how you do that. Because a video can't correct fundamental mistakes that you're making that you don't know you're making. But once you get all that stuff, the basics under your belt, you can, like, once you learn how to tie a fly, you can learn all the patterns you need to know on YouTube. And I could give you further advice on how to save money doing all that. I got my fly tying stuff right here. But we'll go down that road in another video. The casting, man, I think you really need to be streamside with someone to teach you how to cast. I'm sure you can learn it on YouTube, but I mean, it's like riding a bike. It doesn't matter how much you watch someone else do it. Learning it yourself is an entirely different experience, and so you need someone there to say, no, you're doing, because you can't watch your back cast. Or at least I can't. I have plenty of people look at their backcast, but you got to have someone there to watch you doing what you're doing, and yeah. So find a guru is my advice. But yeah, the fly tying stuff you can cover on your own pretty much once you get started. So maybe we'll do, what I really want to do is a video on saving money tying flies, and maybe we'll do that this week. I keep putting it off because it's going to be kind of an ordeal, and my video production is fragile right now. But I would like to do that. I would like to do a video just on my fly box and what I've, after this is my 2nd season of doing this, and what I've come to use. And yeah, we'll see. If you guys want to see a video like that, let me know in the comments. Finally, John Ferguson asks Gribbs, liberal or conservative, Democrat or Republican, are you glad or sad Hillary lost the election? Do you think President Trump is doing a good job leading our country? So the short answer to all of that is no. And I mentioned this in a video that's going to come out this week. I've now that I'm like at 1,000 subscribers, a lot of those are coming up in the last year or so, and they don't know sort of the process that I went through in 2016 and all the angsty self-involved videos that I made about the 2016 election. And people that haven't been with me that whole time don't know what happened. And so I feel like I'm repeating myself for those of you who have been on the channel for a while. I don't do this. I don't politic anymore, and the reason is that I literally don't believe in it. I don't. I think that. Hang on a second. It's farce. It's farce and theater, and it's the greatest farce. It's the greatest heist in the history of humankind. Not to say that this moment, like that American politics is, but that from the beginning of history until now, this farce has been with us. This idea that that government gives a shit about its people, or that one faction of government might give more of a shit than the other faction of government. And we can go back to the days of Ashurnasirpal and Hammurabi, and see humanity as a continual evolution away from consolidated political power. I think that that we're sort of at the tail end of an age in which we're at the tail end of the Enlightenment, basically, like the political Enlightenment, John Locke and all those guys, Smith, and those ideas have come and gone, and we're sort of now vacillating between kind of a corporate feudalism and in a sort of like Western liberal, lowercase l, liberal, democratic, benevolent, I don't know about benevolent, but maybe benign oligarchy. Those are like poli-sci 101 ways of saying I don't believe in any of this shit, and I think that it rots your soul. I think that, like, human beings, we have motives, right? We have like, oh, I want to be able to feed my kid, and I want to be able to love my neighbor and all that, and that's a good pure motive. Like, that's a good thing about us. But then it's very easy to co-opt that into join my team. My team wants peace and prosperity and lower taxes. That's what my team wants. Well, the other team wants the exact same thing, right? They just want it in different ways. Like, that's, you're never going to find a politician. Okay, you're never going to find a politician campaigning on the status quo. Everything is great right now. That's why you should elect me. Politicians always campaign against the status quo, whether they're liberal or conservative, and they always campaign for peace and prosperity and more shit for you. More shit for you. And you will find Republicans doing that, even though they say that's what they don't do. But of course, we've seen a dramatic increase in spending because people want their free shit. Having said all that I don't believe in any of it, I will try to answer these questions because that's what I do with the Ask Ribs thing. I mean, that's the whole point. That's why it stays interesting, is because I force myself to answer these questions. So, liberal or conservative? I don't know. I can't imagine. I don't even know what those words mean anymore, because again, classical liberalism is a great idea, right? In terms of the political science sense of classical liberalism, it's awesome. But that's not what liberalism is in the United States. That's not what we do when we say we're liberals. Conservatism, political science sense, that just means that you support the status quo, that you don't want things to change too fast. You support slow and steady change. I do support slow and steady change. I think that's a good idea, as opposed to radical change quickly. I think, especially in America, our founding documents supported slow and steady change. So I could be both. I don't know. I mean, I think if I want to answer the spirit of the question, I would say socially liberal, fiscally conservative, which just basically means I want people to be left alone. I don't think that the involvement of government in the lives of the people is a really good idea for a lot of reasons. Democrat or Republican? I was a registered Republican for many years. I I've never been a registered Democrat, but I was certainly more supportive of Democratic candidates locally because of reasons. Not necessarily that I support the platform of the Democratic Party, but for many years in my youth, I was. I mean, you got to consider what was going on at the time, which was the Iraq War, and yeah, I would have identified more closely with a Democrat, an anti-war Democrat, of which they were actually very few at the time, than I would have as a Republican. And that, but okay, here's the easiest way to say it: whatever the president is, I'm the other thing. That's kind of how it's always been, because I am a contrary son of a bitch. Or you could say I'm sensitive to the excesses of any one political party, and so I was sensitive to those excesses. I don't give a shit now. But yeah, that's when I look back on my life and try to say which is which. I don't know. I certainly wouldn't fall into either of those categories now. And I actually, even though I did not vote for president in the 2016 election, I changed my party affiliation. After I voted in the Republican primary against Donald Trump, I changed my party affiliation to independent. Are you glad or sad that Hillary lost the election? The one bright spot of the 2016 election was that Hillary Clinton was humiliated. I would like to say that she got what she deserved, but she didn't. Hillary Clinton's a terrible person, y'all. I don't know. The reason that we have the horror that is the Trump administration is because of Hillary Clinton's manifold weaknesses as a candidate, first and foremost being that she is a damn criminal. And so then we get caught up, oh, well, you're just a Trumper. No, I hate Trump. Oh, well, you're just a Clinton. No, join my side. Join my side. We want peace and prosperity and to put the other person in jail. It's not like that. They can both be terrible at the same time, and they both were. So, some days I'm really glad that Hillary lost the election. Well, I guess if you took the question literally, I'm glad Hillary lost the election. I wish that the winner hadn't been Donald Trump, but I'm glad Hillary lost the election. I wish she would go away now. I don't think that's going to happen. She's got some real issues going on, and I don't think we've seen the last of her. Do you think President Trump is doing a good job leading our country? I don't know. I would love to tell you that I don't think he is, that I can't stand the man, and that he's doing this terrible job, and that's what I think. But can I objectively say that he's doing a worse job than his predecessor? Yeah, I mean, I can, but honestly, I don't think Trump is that much worse than the status quo. I think it's just revealing how bad the status quo was. And, why do I think, I can go on about why I think he's bad. Why do you think he's bad? Well, he lies a lot. Well, so did every other president. Well, he's involved with all these women. Well, so was every other president. I don't, it's very hard to pin down something terrible about Donald Trump that doesn't apply to past presidents or basically any other politician. And so I guess what Trump has done for me is just reveal that this has always been the case. But the people expected their leaders to be quiet about it. The people expected their leaders not to wallow in how terrible they were. And Trump is a wallower. And people eat it up. So I think what's really happened is that the expectation of the electorate has changed. You didn't ask, but I will tell you that I think that Donald Trump is a symptom of a larger social decay, just like mass shootings and the opioid the stuttering epidemic is all Donald Trump's fault. I think that again, we're at the tail end of the Enlightenment. It's all coming to a grinding halt, and Trump is a symptom of that, just as is the oftentimes very deplorable. See, now I can't even use the word deplorable because then I sound like Hillary Clinton. The unlikable society in which we live. I think it's a progression that is continuing and will continue until we return to the mean level of individual liberty and kind-heartedness of humanity. I think that America and the West benefited greatly for a long time from our successes and we had good ideas, and that's coming to an end now. And I think these things are symptoms of that. It's probably more than you wanted to get into, and this video is probably really long right now. So I'm going to wrap up there and say that I have enjoyed this pipe. I like Old Dark Fired better. This seems to just be a kind of one-dimensional thing, but that's not what everyone on Tobacco Review says, so maybe I'm missing something about it. I'm going to go tie some flies and probably watch Heat again, to be honest with you. Even though now I'm in a really weird mood because of talking about all that. So, John, I hope that answered your question. Everybody else, thank you for watching. Thank you for sitting through that. Man, 1,000 subs. We're going to be talking about that soon. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind.